Hi everyone, welcome to Aldi Feastable. Today we're presenting the Hungry Games. We're here at the beautiful Fittler Club. I'm your host Elijah Milligan, native Philadelphia, veteran on the Philadelphia culinary scene. Before we get started, I want to thank all of our amazing sponsors. I want to say a special thank you to Aldi, Walmart, San Pellegrino, Aquapana, and Philadelphia Magazine, and our many other sponsors and partners. Today we have 4 local chefs competing for our first title of Feastable Champion. The chefs we have today, they're going to be cooking up 4 plates with 2 mystery ingredients. Let's introduce our chefs. So over here I have Chef Joey Ross.
I'm Joey Ross. I'm a native of West Philly. I've been cooking professionally for about 10 years. Currently I work at Pyramid Club in Center City. I also run my own pop-up Liverton in my personal time.
I'm Zach Cohen. I'm currently a line cook at Vernick Food and Drink and a student at Drexel University. I'm 21 years old. I grew up outside of Philadelphia, right in Villanova.
Hey guys, I'm Chef Nasser Mason, Philadelphia native, 25 years old. Right before the pandemic, I was line cook at Zaha Restaurant. Right now, I'm doing my own thing, trying to find my own lane. I'm a private chef doing private events and caterings.
Hi guys, I'm Marie Lavizo More. I am the executive sous chef at the Fittler Club. West Philly born and raised. I worked all up and down Center City, Star, Rittenhouse, Zahav, Pyramid Club, several places, and it's good to be here.
Did I mention all these chefs are from Philadelphia? We got Philadelphia City Brotherly Love in the house. All right, chefs, you ready to see what we're cooking with today?
Right. Yes.
All right, so today we have 2 ingredients that you're going to incorporate into your dish. The dish that you're going to make for me today, I wanted to pretty much express your style, right? What you're going to do is you're going to give me on that plate your flavors. Like I want to know who Nasser is, I want to know who Zach is, I want to know who Joey is on this plate. Let's see what those ingredients are. All right, so in our pint containers, I bet you're wondering what it is. It's one of my favorite ingredients to cook with. It's calamansi. It's a hybrid fruit, or a hybrid citrus, native of Southeast Asia. It has flavors of a mixture of like lemon and lime with a little bitter aftertaste. And then right next to it we have gochujang, which is a hot pepper paste. Really fun ingredient. You think we're able to work with that, chefs, or what?
Yeah.
All right, so first round, you're gonna have 30 minutes to cook. You're gonna give me 4 plates. You ready?
Yes.
All right, let's cook. Judges, thank you for being with us today. Are you excited to try some good food?
Yes!
Absolutely. First up, we have Kaylani Palmisano, the host of WHYY's Check Please. Would you like to tell the viewers a little bit about Check Please?
Absolutely. Check Please Philly is a restaurant series that explores the dining throughout the Philadelphia region. We bring on 3 guests who are from the city and also the burbs. They pick their favorite restaurants and then we discuss on the show.
That's awesome. Thank you for being here. Up next, we have Chef Chris Paul.
Hello everyone, I'm Chef Chris Paul. We're running a popular series in Philadelphia called Lakai, visiting traditional Haitian food, and you can check me out at Chris Paul Chef on Instagram.
Awesome. Next up, we have Alex Strange, Vice President of Bassett's Ice Cream.
Hi, my name is Alex Bassett Strange. I'm from Bassett's Ice Cream. We're America's oldest ice cream brand. We've been around since 1861. The company was started by my great-great-great-grandfather, and you can try us at Philadelphia's Reading Terminal Market.
I love ice cream. Last but not least, we have Rana Searles from Fringe Arts.
Hello, I'm the marketing manager at Fringe Arts, and we present the Philadelphia Fringe Festival every September, as well as contemporary performing arts all year round in Philadelphia.
Thank you again, judges, for being here. Now I'm going to go check back in the kitchen and make sure the chefs are ready to go. So we're in the kitchen now. The 30 minutes have started for the chefs. We're gonna go around and see what they're planning on doing with their mystery ingredients. Hey Zach, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, good, good. What's your plan?
I was doing something with squid noodles, I'm not exactly sure yet.
Okay.
Probably gonna dress it with the gochujang Maybe make a pickle with the calamansi.
Have you used gochujang before?
I have, yes.
What about calamansi?
Not really. I've eaten a lot of it, but I've never really cooked with it. I've had a lot of panna cottas with it.
It's like a citrus. It's going to brighten it up, you know?
Cool.
So, did you taste it yet?
Not yet.
I'll taste that soon, Chef.
Yes, chef.
Chef Joey, what are you working on over here?
I'm gonna make a roasted chicken with a gochujang rub. I have some lavender, I have a mixture of pink peppercorn and coriander I'm gonna spice it with. And then I'm gonna make a calamansi garbanzo to go with it.
That sounds awesome, Chef. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so over here we have Chef Marie.
Hi, how you doing?
Chef Marie, what are you thinking?
I am doing a quick bouillabaisse today with the gochujang,
Ooh.
garlic, vinaigrette. I'm pretty like a free range chef. I like food. Food makes me happy. I don't have like a specific kind of cuisine that I like.
For sure.
I explore on the cross.
What's in season,
my
what stays
soul,
what you cook
exactly.
it for, right? Love it.
My soul. So,
I'm excited to taste your food, Chef.
thank you.
Thank you.
How you doing, Chef?
Chef Nasir Mason, how are you?
Yes, I'm doing awesome, Chef.
Great. What's your plan? What are you thinking?
Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this gochujang and a barbecue sauce. I'm going to do a strawberry barbecue sauce.
Ooh, that looks fire. Okay.
I'm going to do a strawberry barbecue sauce with some pan-seared scallops and maybe rice pilaf.
Sounds dope, Chef.
Alright.
Can't wait to taste. So we just walked around and talked to all the chefs, figuring out what their plan is going to be. I think everything sounds delicious. If you were in here, you'll smell everything. It smells amazing. So I'm excited to taste some food. So we're going to wait a few more minutes, go around, and hopefully we'll have some bites pretty soon. Okay, so time's up. We're going to go in the kitchen and check on the chefs. Wow, this is amazing. I mean, the chefs, we have some awesome chefs in there. From what I can tell, I mean, we're gonna have 4 really close dishes, so let's see. All right, time's up, chefs. We ready?
Ready, chef.
All right, Chef Marie, walk me through your dish.
You have a quick bouillabaisse, leek, shallot, garlic, and then our mystery ingredients, both of them in there. You have the gochujang, could just cook down a little bit, hit it with some wine, as well as, how do you say it? Calamansi. That's cooked down, as well as I was used with the white wine to open up the clams and the mussels, so that you use throughout the entire dish, not just the sauce, for both opening the clams, seasoning the fish, the glazing, the entire. I'm feeling really confident. I'm ready to go. I'm ready for you guys to try it.
Sounds great. Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
All right, Chef Nas. Looks amazing.
Thank you.
You want to walk us through your dish?
All right, Chef. What we have here today is a pan-seared base scallop with bacon fried rice and Asian strawberry barbecue sauce, which is infused with the gochujang and the calamansi. Also, the calamansi is glazed throughout the fried rice.
Chef Zach, what do we have here?
So we have squid noodles cooked in gochujang butter with a charred and raw fennel salad that has charred long hots, fresh habaneros, calamansi juice, and some ramp vinegar. And then the sliced apples on top are dressed with calamansi juice and just fresh fennel fronds.
Sounds amazing. Thank you, Chef. All right, Chef Joey, looks amazing. What do we have here today?
So here we have roasted chicken. It's been coated with a gochujang butter, roasted under the flames. There's a calamansi butter emulsion sauce. There's calamansi, some fresh tarragon, some parsley, black peppercorns, a little bit of white wine reduced down and then mixed with butter. And then on top is just a mixture of herbs and some Maldon salt.
Looks beautiful. Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
Chef Marie, what do you have for us today?
Today I have a quick bouillabaisse with clams, mussels, and sea bass, as well as I used our 2 mystery basic ingredients, which was the gochujang as well as the calamari. And I used it throughout the dish, cooking down the alum for the bouillabaisse, as well as popping open the clams and mussels, as well as deglazing with the crispy skin for the sea bass. And then I have a quick grilled baguette, nothing too out of this world, just a little garlic oil and a little salt, and then topped with a little red sorrel and parsley.
Sounds awesome. Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
What do you think, Ken?
Well, the sauce is not too overpowering. Those were some pretty intense ingredients that were in your first basket, but they go together really, really nicely, complementing that kind of saltiness of the seafood that came through. And your sea bass had a really nice crispy skin, so you did achieve that crispy skin, so it's got great texture, and the flavors go really, really nicely together. Thank you.
Chef Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the ingredients with Galani, the seafood is cooked very well. You know, the mussels or dry up clams, good to go. Really great on the crispy skin, really achieved that. The flavor, I am getting a little bit of the calamari, not as much of the gochujang, but I think overall they are very strong and profound, that it does blend really well with the tomato-based sauce. So the dish makes sense, and I think it's what you wanted to achieve, I think is there.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chef. Alex, what do you think about your dish?
I think it was really great. The flavors came together very nicely. The seafood was, as we said earlier, cooked very well. I love the crispy texture of the skin. Both of those flavors from the ingredient basket were, I thought, very well represented here. And it just goes so well with the bread.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Raina, how do you feel about our bouillabaisse?
I thought it was delicious. I really did feel like this was a really nice seafood medley, and so I felt some of the flavors coming through stronger than others, like the oysters a little bit more, but I did think that the sauce was subtle enough that I got like a little bit of a kick, but it didn't feel overpowering. And I thought the layout was really beautiful, and the bread was a really great touch.
Awesome. Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
Chef Marie, how do you feel about your dish for the first round?
Feeling really good. The feedback was really great. I was definitely worried about the crispy skin, but you know, I had to flash it in the salamander many times. But I'm happy that my dish came out well, and I was just constantly like tasting throughout and making sure that I hit those flavors.
For sure.
And I'm feeling really, really good.
I think you had a beautiful dish.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Chef Nas, what did you prepare for us today?
All right, good evening, judges. Today we have a pan-seared baked scallop served over top of a bacon fried rice alongside with Asian strawberry barbecue sauce. The 2 ingredients in the mystery basket was infused inside of the barbecue sauce. So you'll get a lot of spice from the gochujang as well as a lot of acid from the calamansi. Judges, enjoy. Let me know what you think.
Kay, how did you feel about Chef Nas's dish?
I really enjoyed the scallop, and you had me at bacon. I love anything that has to do with bacon. The rice is very nicely seasoned. That sauce with the 2 ingredients, the gochujang and the calamansi, was fantastic. I just really wish there was more of it. It was the feature ingredient, and you know, it was kind of off to the side, so I had to like take my scallop and kind of like run through it, and I really wish there was more of it, like as if the scallop were like painted on there like barbecue sauce. Like barbecue sauce is, it's saucy. Get saucy with it. Don't be shy with that sauce.
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
But it's great. It was great nonetheless.
Thank you.
It's saucy. Thank you,
It's
Chef.
saucy. I like that.
Thank you.
Okay, so I would say the scallop was well cooked as well, but I think in ingredients with her is I just wish there was more of the combination. So even with the fried rice, you could have put a little gochujang in there to get it some spice and just kind of build it into there. So I felt as though it was almost like two separate dishes where I had to introduce it to the dish. But outside of that, I think it was the preparation was right, but I would have felt a little bit better with utilizing the ingredients within the dish a little bit more.
Thank you, Chef. Alex, how do you feel about Chef Nasser's dish today?
I thought it was very beautifully presented. I really loved the flavor of that sauce. The scallop was cooked beautifully, and the rice, who doesn't love bacon in rice?
Right.
So I thought that was all really great. I would also have liked to see a little bit more of that sauce. It had such wonderful flavor to it that it could have been a bigger part, I think, of the dish.
Agreed. Totally.
But it was fantastic.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you. Rana, how are you?
I'm doing well, especially after that delicious dish. I thought it was presented beautifully, and I really did feel like the sauce came through with this almost like Asian fusion smoky barbecue feel, which I really thought worked well. And I loved that with the addition of the fried rice, it didn't end up too greasy. Even with the bacon, it was like still felt very light, very well cooked. And I think I would agree, I would have loved to see it a little bit more throughout. But I also really liked how it was laid out. So I think, a drizzle or something would have been a really nice addition.
All right, thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Rana. Chef Nas, how do you think you did in the first round?
Chef, I think I pulled this one off. It came pretty close to timing, but I got that rice in there, got that rice going. That barbecue sauce is working from the door, and those scallops are seared beautifully.
Nice. Do you feel confident about your use of the two ingredients?
Yes, very much. I feel like you could actually see the gochujang being inside of a barbecue sauce. You definitely could taste it.
Awesome. Sounds great.
Yep.
So we have our third chef for the first round, Chef Zachary Cohen. Explain your dish, please.
All right, so here you have squid noodles cooked in a gochujang butter finished with some of the calamansi juice. And then on top of that is a charred and raw fennel relish with charred long hots. Also dressed with some rank vinegar and calamansi juice as well. And the apples on top are just tossed in some Maldon salt and calamansi juice.
Thank you, Chef.
Okay.
Hey, how do you feel about Zachary's dish?
Well, there's a lot going on here. I feel like the flavor of the gochujang really sneaks up on you, which is fine. I'm a fan of heat, but that heat can really sneak up, which I'm glad that there's apples involved in this dish. Or it was an apple, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so glad that there were apples because it kind of cooled down the fire a little bit. So that spiciness is coming through. I'm not sure if the calamansi came through too strongly. I could tell that the smokiness of it was kind of there, but overall, it's good. It's delicious. I still ate it.
Yeah, so I think kind of on the opposite, I see a lot of calamansi.
Yeah.
Definitely get at almost every bite, which is nice and refreshing. But I get the heat from the gochujang, but not necessarily the flavor.
Okay.
Like, the bean paste and everything going on. So I think there's a ton of citrus. The apples work really nice. But I would have just wished to just have maybe one of the ingredients paired with gochujang to come back in.
Okay.
Rather. But I'm getting a lot of calamansi, and it is refreshing. It's cool. It's you're getting a lot of flavors, and it's really good overall.
Awesome.
Thank you, Chef. Alex, how do you feel about Zachary's dish?
I thought that the textures were fantastic. I am a texture guy, and I really liked the crunchiness that I got out of the apple pieces and the chewiness. I thought that the gochujang came through very well. It was a little bit on the spicy side, but overall, I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Rana, how do you feel about Zachary's dish?
I enjoyed it. I would also say that the calamansi came through like very strongly in the relish, which I was happy to taste, and I really enjoyed the medley. I thought that there were a lot of different textures. I did think that some of the legs were a little bit softer than others, and so, you know, on some bites it was a little bit of a different experience, but I did think that the apples were a really nice compliment to kind of cool it down because my mouth is still a little bit tingly.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you, Chef.
Yeah.
Chef Zachary, how do you feel about your dish for the first round?
I feel pretty good. Made everything in the wood fire in the brick oven, so tried to keep it as simple in terms of technique and not do anything too complicated that I couldn't get done in under 30 minutes, but I'm happy with how everything tastes, and yeah.
Do you feel like the judges are going to get a lot of the mystery ingredients in your dish?
I hope so. I think the gochujang mixing it with butter kind of brought out the nuttiness of it, and then there's calamansi juice on everything on the plate, so hopefully it balances out the richness of the butter, and yeah.
Good job, Chef. Chef Joey, tell us about your dish.
So here I have a roasted chicken. It's been roasted on the hearth. It's been seasoned with a gochujang rub, and on top there's a mixture of pink peppercorn, coriander, cumin seeds, and black pepper. And the sauce is a calamansi beurre blanc. So I just took some shallots, some tarragon, and parsley, reduced it with some of the calamansi juice, and then emulsified some butter into it. And there's your dish.
Chef Joey, how do you feel about your dish for the first round?
I'm very confident with it. Kind of been doing menu development at my job with roasted chicken, so this is kind of some ideas I've had before, you know, seasoning mixtures of rubbing it with different spices.
Right.
And I've always really loved like emulsified butter sauces, like béarnaise, things like that. So it's like
can't go wrong with that, right?
Can't go wrong with it.
I grew up in a French kitchen, so you know butter is everything. So
yeah.
Awesome. You feel comfortable about your use of the both ingredients?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Let's see what the judges think. Okay, how do you feel about Joey's dish?
Well, Joey, this dish is outstanding. The chicken is cooked perfectly. I really appreciate that you put it in the hearth. The technique, outstanding. Also, the way you use these secret ingredients to, you know, season the skin of the chicken, and then the way that you use the calamansi to make that kind of creamy, sweet, like smoky sauce. I thought it was just such a really creative way to use those ingredients, and I'm so glad that you were not afraid that, you know, those were two really flavorful ingredients, but you were not afraid to throw in some other flavors in there that really added a lot of pop to this dish. I mean, the coriander and the pink peppercorn went really, really nicely on the skin and paired really well with the other flavors, and I'm just gushing. This was really good. Thank you so much for sharing this experience with us.
Wow.
Thank you.
Good job, Chef. Chef Chris, how do you feel about Chef Joey's dish?
Really well prepared. I'll agree with Kelani. I mean, the beurre blanc came out really well. I think that's a really good play on it. You know, you have the citrus that came through. It was creamy, even with some, you know, technical issues of it sitting there. It didn't break, so I know you made it correctly. The skin on the chicken is awesome. As you can see, I started ripping it off because I was full. I just continued eating just skin. So overall, chicken was well prepared. My only small critique would be a little bit more heat just to get the gochujang in there, but overall, I think you've really utilized the ingredients to pair with the dish really well.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you, Chef. Alex, how do you feel about Chef Joey's dish?
I thought it was phenomenal. I really, really loved the spiciness of the chicken, and then that sauce was really great. Just a nice, they worked really, really well together. The skin was crispy and delicious. I thought just enough heat. Really, really liked it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, Chef. Rana, how do you feel about Chef Joey's dish?
I feel like this was such a great example of something that looks really simple, but then actually has so many complex things going on.
It's smart, right?
It was very smart. I love this idea of just like the chicken in the middle of the plate, and then I felt like I was almost surprised when I got the chicken and then I tasted a little bit of the sauce and I was like, oh, I need to go back for more of that. It really had almost a tropical feel in my mouth, with just like this, very like fruity sauce, but then the very like nicely spiced chicken that I thought was a really great mix.
Awesome. Chef Joey, do you have more chicken? You do?
Yes, I do.
All right, awesome, cool. I'll see you in a bit. Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
Judges, who do you think are the two chefs that use our mystery ingredients the best?
I would say, hands down, I think he did the best job because the flavors they're not masked. I think some people include it in the cooking process, and further down the line, like Zach's squid was really well, but further down, it's just got heat, but no gochujang.
For sure.
And a lot of calamansi, whereas this on two separate levels, you definitely get calamansi in the sauce. You definitely get gochujang on the skin.
Sure.
So, yeah.
I agree. Chef Joey's dish, I want to say he was daring, but he clearly knew what he was doing with all of these ingredients, and it was like a risk, but it played out really, really well.
It's definitely a smart combination. I mean, when I picked the two ingredients, that's like how I envisioned that could be better, because both of those ingredients can work really well together. And I'm also a sauce guy too. You don't need anything extra, right? No extra garnishes, no extra grain. Use the two ingredients the best, right? So I think we all agree on Chef Joey. Do you agree with that, or what?
Well, definitely. I thought Chef Joey had a really, really great dish, and I also am a fan of sauce, and this sauce was excellent.
Nice.
So that was a very strong dish.
Awesome.
I would definitely say it was a masterful use of the flavors, and I loved all those subtle flavors that didn't even come out as much, but I know were in there. So I would definitely go with Chef Joey as one of the two.
Awesome. So it seems like Chef Joey's definitely going to the second round. Who will he be facing?
I would say it's a toss between the first, the bouillabaisse. The only fallback I have with that is the tomato overpowered between the calamansi.
The sauces,
like it kind of, but you knew it was there. So I'm stuck on there, and I would say the squid, like I said, it was almost too much calamansi. That's my issue there, and then I think the scallops, that would be my least favorite, just for the fact that the sauce was amazing, but it was almost two separate things. There was scallops, fried rice, and then there was the ingredients. They didn't really match. It was a good dish, but
it was such a tease. The barbecue sauce was a tease too.
Yeah, it was really good. I wish you would have glazed the scallop. Or
it's like when you go to the fast food restaurant, they only give you like one packet of ketchup. It's no, I want just give me a ramekin of it. But I agree. I think the first chef would be my pick for the second one to get to. Maria, was that her name?
Yep.
Oh, my second pick would be Maria, because I thought that she took the gochujang and the calamansi and put them together, and together they created a really nice flavor combination and a nice bouillabaisse.
Yes, Chef Maria's dish I thought was really great. A lot of textures going on there with the crispy bread, and the bouillabaisse was just so great to dip with, and
the fish.
I loved it. Yeah, very good crispy skin.
Cool. And do you agree?
I would agree. I think Chef Joey was the best example of seeing the flavors split out, and I think Chef Maria was the best example of seeing them mixed together in one sauce, which I think that, with the squid legs, like they were separated out, but there were still like, the flavors were not quite the perfect fit, which I think we did get with Chef Maria.
Got it. Chefs, come on in, please. All right, chefs. So for the first round, our mystery ingredients were calamansi and gochujang. I think all of you did an amazing job using both of the ingredients. I think the presentations were beautiful and the flavors were definitely on point. Unfortunately, only two chefs will be moving on to the second round. Let's hear what we think, judges.
Well, we knew that when we tried Chef Maria's dish, we really loved the way that all the flavors came together in that bouillabaisse, and it was just phenomenal. I can't stop talking about that crispy bread and the seafood that was cooked deliciously. So we know, Chef Maria, you're safe. You're going on to the next round.
Thank you.
First of all, who else are you going to the next round?
To follow up, Joey, our last plate here, I think we all kind of consecutively agree that the use of the ingredients in a separate and combined manner made sense. You know, I think the beurre blanc was perfect, given that you already have citrus. Having the calamansi and the chicken skin was cooked perfectly. You know, even with us having it sit there in time, it was still very flavorful overall. And yeah, I think Chef Maria and Chef Jose are the 2 picks for the next round.
Awesome. Congratulations, Chef Joey, Chef Maria.
Much for your dish. I really appreciated scallops and bacon. You know, it's one of my favorite appetizers at any shindig is that bacon wrapped scallop.
Definitely.
Oh, but the sauce was incredible, and it's really inspired me because I want to recreate this sauce. But I wish there was more. It was such a tease though, but it was still very good.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot for the feedback.
Yeah, I think Zach's dish was very well put together. We just found that the calamansi was overpowered the gochujang, where we got the spice on the back end. The texture is everything. It was a lot going on. Just in case of both of them coming out as 2 separate ingredients, it kind of ended up blending together. And we got a nice citrus. It was really nice salad. So I think in general, same with your sauce, it was great, but we felt it was kind of 2 separate dishes where you had your fried rice and scallops, and then there was this amazing sauce. And we just switched that, you know, at some point, maybe if you glazed the scallop or something like that, or even if you dehydrated gochujang and sprinkled some on top, it would have added another layer. So very well put together.
I think the consistency that we all love the dish. Just wanted more sauce.
Yeah.
Sauce is the boss.
Thank you so much.
Zachary, thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you, Chef Das.
Thank you guys. Thank you, judges.
Awesome. Congratulations, chefs, on making it to the final round. Are you ready to see your mystery ingredients for your second round or what?
Yes.
All right, open the bags. So we have some black garlic and some kiwi berry. Have either one of you worked with these ingredients before?
I am not.
Really? Nice. This should make for an interesting round. All right, so we're gonna do 30 minutes. You're gonna give me 5 plates, because I'm hungry too.
Okay.
Of a dish that best expresses your style using both of these ingredients. Best use of both of our mystery ingredients will be our first Feastival Hunger Games winner. Are we ready to cook?
Yes.
30 minutes starts now. Hi, Raina. So tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you do over at Fringe Arts.
So I work in the marketing department, and we have had a really interesting year. Normally we're, putting out advertising all over the city, and we're, getting out all the communications around the Fringe Festival, around spring events, summer events. We do an outdoor movie series. We do a comedy festival. So there's normally a ton of live events going on, which of course all require people to be in one space.
For sure.
Which is definitely very different this year.
It is. I think it's a good chance to reinvent the wheel, reinvent how we do things, reinvent the scene a little bit, and be creative, right?
Yeah,
be creative.
absolutely.
So for me, I think that's been the most positive part of this entire year, is that we are allowed to be creative about how we do things now. And we don't take dining out for granted anymore, right?
No, definitely not. Normally we have events in our theater, and we have a restaurant, Le Peg, that's right within our building, and normally it's like, oh, grab a drink before the show, go sit next to a bunch of people, and this year we still had the Fringe Festival, but it looked very different. It was mostly on your laptop or projected onto your TV, and we had some works that took place outside with like social distancing, or like a solo performance of you just walking and listening to an audio story. So it's been very different. It's been a little bit of a lonelier Fringe Festival, but it's been exciting to see so many people from really around the world being able to access all the work.
Sounds awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex.
How's it going?
Great. How are you?
Very good.
Good. Thanks for having it. Thanks for being here and joining us today. So tell us a little bit more about yourself and your company.
Yeah, so my name again is Alex Bassett Strange, and we're from Bassett's Ice Cream. This company is America's oldest ice cream brand, having been around since 1861. Wow. It was actually the year Abraham Lincoln was inaugurated as president. That was when my great-great-great-grandfather started commercially producing ice cream and selling it along the farmers markets of Philadelphia, namely on Market Street. Mm-hmm. When the Reading Terminal Market opened in 1892, they had their grand opening in 1893. we set up shop right there. We're the last remaining original merchant. We still have the original marble countertop, and it's a family business that is just extremely passionate about bringing very high quality ice cream. Great grandfather's recipe.
Well, I'm sold, so I think from now on I'm only eating Bassett's ice cream forever. So, has COVID impacted your business at all this year? Or?
Yeah, this year has been a strange one. Obviously, just about everybody has been affected in some way or another. We're seeing more sales of packaged ice cream. So when people come visit us at the Reading Terminal Market, which is open, socially distant, and clean, we're offering pints of ice cream to go, quarts of ice cream. We have dry ice there that people will take their ice cream to go. Not as many cups and cones, but milkshakes are still going strong.
For sure.
And this year we've really doubled down our efforts on the delivery services. So, DoorDash and Grubhub and Uber Eats have been lifelines to us, which has been really great. And on top of that, we just started some nationwide shipping through Goldbelly. So through COVID, there were definitely some challenges that we were faced with. But I think that we used those challenges as opportunities to find a new way to get ice cream out to people.
Smart, very smart.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Chef Chris Paul, thanks for joining us today. So you have a really cool pop-up series that you're doing actually now around town, right?
Yes. So it's called Lakai, which is a Creole word for home. It's Laky. It essentially means home, my home, and some variation. And the goal is just to bring people food that I grew up eating with. So it's been a really fun experience. I've been in Philadelphia. I mean, we cooked way back at Park in like 2007 or 8.
Years ago, man. That's the baby.
Now it's cool to be cooking something that I actually don't have much experience with. Although I grew up in Haiti, we've been back and forth, but it's actually challenging. I'm so used to cooking more or less European food. If we have to bang out some risotto, I don't even have to think about it. Whereas a lot of these menus, I know what it should taste like from memory, and I've had it maybe sporadically. And I'm literally practicing at home sometimes.
You have to do a little bit of research and
learn some of these things. I've never made this, and I'm talking to my mom, getting her input. My brother actually went to school in culinary school in Haiti, so I'm referencing that and trying to make sure the menus are correct, the spelling is right, and that we're keeping it all traditional. No fusion, no microgreens, none of that. We're going straight to the core.
Is that a shot towards me?
Yeah, Well, for what it is, I think we always want to infuse something into certain cultures, and I think sometimes this is a trend of leaving things alone.
Absolutely, keeping it natural.
If you want to do Danish cuisine, just do Danish. Don't bring in Italian into it. Just leave it what it is, and I think people appreciate that. It's pure, it's consistent. And it's fun.
You recently taken it on the road too, so not just in Philadelphia, right?
Yeah. So we did one in Oregon. So we took a cross country trip. We were trying to do a little bit more, but I don't think it didn't work out the way we wanted it to. We wanted to do things correctly, so we were able to pop up all the way on the coast at near Cannon Beach, and we did a bakery, at a little bakery, and it was fun. We had a decent turnout, and it's always fun to I'm obviously. There's a large Haitian population, kind of sporadic, more than Northeast, but I think it's always cool to see people. I'm sure they might have heard of Haiti, but they definitely never had it. I think Caribbean cuisine gets bundled into, it's Caribbean, but it's very diverse. Between Jamaican and my wife is Trinidad, we do that sometimes, but it's very diverse. We don't have jerk, we don't really have curry, so it's a very French influence, heavily French influence with some African as well as native Arawak cuisine, and we've been a country republic for over 200 years, so 25 years after the U.S. So we've been around for a while, and I think we're getting some recognition.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chef.
No problem.
Keilani, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Cool. So I actually want to hear more about your program with WHYY.
Yeah, well, Check Please Philly had its first season that premiered this past January, which feels like eons ago.
Right.
And we worked on it all during 2019. It was 39 restaurants. We had 39 different guests. Each episode was 3 people. They came onto the show with their favorite restaurant. Everyone would try that restaurant, and then we'd discuss on the show. And it was really cool because I love talking about food. And I love talking to people who aren't necessarily chefs or professional food writers like myself. I am also a food and travel editor with USA Today TED Fest. So I'm like very, not formally trained, but it's a world that I'm immersed in. But I love hearing other people talk about food. So we had a first great season. We were just about to film our second season. And the day, it was March 16th, we were gonna be filming season 2, which would have premiered now in October.
Right.
But we ended up having to postpone that. So we did all of this work and, you know, didn't pan out this time. But we pivoted, and we had one of our producers, Sarah Moses, has just released a TV documentary for WHYY called Restaurants in Crisis, and it's about how restaurants have been coping with COVID. It talks about a lot of people that, you know, work in the restaurant industry, so I definitely encourage people that if they don't really understand what's happening industry-wide, to go and watch that documentary.
I think I want to check it out.
Yeah.
So now for Check Please, were all the restaurants local Philadelphia restaurants, or?
They were throughout the region. So it was like all the way Bucks County, out to the main line. There was a few places like Media, and but even as far as like New Hope.
So what were like some of your favorites?
Ooh, gosh. Well, I'm not allowed to have a favorite. I personally, honestly, no, I really respect every single restaurant for what they had to offer, and they were people's personal picks. Like there were people that grew up with some of these restaurants. Like there was a guy who went to Mrs. Rubino's down in Delaware, and he had been going for 50 years. He had been going ever since he was a kid, and to him, it was a really special place, not just for the food, but what that you know, what that dining experience and all the memories that he made there. So that's what the show, you know, it touched on food,
And I think it's incredible to even have a restaurant for 50 years.
Oh, yeah. And a restaurant that expanded into...
For sure.
It's like next door neighbor. It was like in an old row home, and it expanded.
It's a rare thing in our industry, for sure.
It is. And it's, well, now with like these challenges, it's, you know, trying to figure out how to still celebrate talented cooking and dining in this new atmosphere that we're in. I love the pop-ups. I'm such a fan of Greenwood. I haven't gotten to try it yet, but I can't wait to.
So that was a lot of fun, huh?
A lot of fun, Chef. It was great to be a part of it.
Nice. I think y'all did an amazing job. Appreciate you both for coming on. I know you both personally for quite a few years. I think you're both amazing chefs. So how do you feel about the outcome of that first round?
I agree. I totally agree. I think the decision was made fairly. What I would do differently next time is infuse the rice with some gochujang. I definitely think that the gochujang and the calamansi should have been used throughout the whole dish rather than on just 2 parts of it. But moving forward, that dish will be a top seller in the future.
I agree. I think so as well. How about you, Zach? How do you feel about that first round?
I didn't try anything else. Everyone's dishes look beautiful. I'm sure they all tasted great. I wish that I had thought through the sauce a little bit more with the gochujang butter on the squid. And kind of looking back at that plate, I would have loved to have emulsified that and made it a more complete sauce, give it a little bit more body. But overall, I'm happy with how I did. I mean, everybody did great. Everybody killed it. Everyone's food looked great. So, yeah, that's really all I can say.
All right. Thank you both for being on the show. This is our first Feastival of Hunger Games, so it's amazing. I think we're planning to do many more. So I'd love for you to continue to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chef, for the opportunity.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, well.
Wow. We still going. It's not over yet. They let out. We let it all out. There it is. Oh yeah, we're giving you all of it. Y'all feel it? Don't be mad. We got that blend. Yo, shout out to Goose and Carl. Hey, hey, hey. We get ours straight from the best. Got a blessing for all of y'all. Hey, hey, hey. Don't be mad. We got that thing. Don't let me catch you running your mouth. Hey, hey, hey. I know you heard. We round that bend. You gon' make me put my hand in energy out. And I wonder if I'm peaking or not. I'm not. Voila. And I wonder if I'm peaking or not. Voila. Voila. Like, and I wonder. Philly, MD, DC, VA, MA, NY, the Cairo, PA, ME, out west, down south, midwest, out. You wanna have a good time, that's the policy. You wanna have a good time, you can call on me. But had your checkbook ready, had good drinks ready, had good smoke ready, had good things ready. I want positive energy, the only kind that feels me. Up the ladder to the highest score. Top my threshold, the top of my vibe. I'm at the top of the discussion, I'm at the top of my class. And off top, y'all can all get the top of my ass. It's my life, potential highs and kite. Know you feel it right here, then it's only tonight. We can get our beat together, girl, as much as you like. We all the time to get fun. Gotta act like a volcano. Feel it. I'm gonna get mine. Cause I can say my control. And I wonder if I'm peaking or not. Voila. And I wonder if I'm peaking or not.
hot.
The mess.
The mess. So much.
The let out.
Thank you so much.
The walk from the microphone to my phone where I'm recording this to turn it off. Wow.
All right, so we're gonna go check on our chefs for the second round. See what they have cooking up. Joey, what do we have over here?
So I have some salmon that I'm going to pan sear. Here I have some green long peppers I'm going to pickle really quickly. And then here I'm going to make a smoked tomato black garlic broth for the salmon. There's a little bit of star anise and some fennel.
Sounds amazing, Chef.
Thank you.
Can't wait to try it. Hey, Chef Marie, how are you?
Good, how are you?
You just knew you were going to the second round, right?
I had faith, is what I had.
Awesome. So what are you cooking for us for our second round?
We have a fall spiced duck. We have a black garlic risotto. And then I'm actually using some of our specialty ingredients from last round as well.
Oh, okay.
In this round to break a better dish and more cohesive flavors and all kind of one accord across the board.
Sounds awesome. We're doing 5 dishes this time, right? So I can eat?
We're doing 7 because your staff is hungry.
I got the, okay, cool. All right, sounds great.
Yep.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
All right, chefs, 30 seconds. Wow. Good, Chef Joey.
Thank you.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll line it up in the middle, okay? Chef Marie, tell me what you have to serve for this.
So right here, I actually went the little Asian route with the black garlic and the
Kiwi berry.
Kiwi berries. So we have a herb and black garlic risotto, crispy duck skin, crispy duck leg, as well as cannellini, baby cauliflower. And the way I use the ingredients this go around, I sauteed our cannellini. And then the finger limes I added to reduce the absolute salt. And then I also used some of the other mixing best ingredients as well, incorporated in this dish. And a little fried steak.
Awesome. Looks amazing, Chef.
Thank you.
Let's see what the judges think.
All right.
Chef Joey, looks and smells amazing. How do you feel about use of both ingredients?
I'm really confident in them.
Nice. Well, it looks great. What do you have here today?
So here I have a pan-seared salmon with some caramelized fennel. The kiwi berries I quickly pickled, and I also pickled a little bit of long pepper with it. And then the broth is a black garlic smoked tomato broth. It's just some tomatoes caramelized really quickly in the oven. There's a lot of different spices in this broth. That's part of what makes it so aromatic.
Mm-hmm. Smells amazing again. Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
Oh, I am ready for this dish. I love a little bit of green, but also throughout, not just the broccoli, and it looks like it's going to be really delicious.
Textures look awesome. I'm really excited to get into that skin.
Looking good. Looks like some duck confit maybe. Yeah? It's gonna be good.
Beautiful.
Nicole. It's picturesque. It's Instagram worthy.
Chef Marie, how are you feeling?
Feeling good. Feeling good.
Cool. What do you have for us for your second round dish?
So our second round dish, we have an herb and black garlic risotto, crispy duck leg with a little cannellini and crispy sage, and as well as the kiwi berries. So I took the kiwi berries, just skinned them, juiced them, and sauteed that in the cannellini. As well, I took some fall spices into our duck as well as our risotto. And then I took our actually ingredient basket from our last round and incorporated it into this as well with the
Calamari.
The calamari. I incorporated that as well in there to bring everything together. I hope you guys enjoy.
Thank you, Chef Marie.
Thank you.
Really subtle ingredients, so I think like you really have to play it up if you
Yeah.
want it to appear in the dish.
You
You
just
know?
have to, I mean, even some fresh slices or something. Like
Yeah.
All right, Chef Marie, congratulations again on making it to the second round. I think your second dish looks even better than the first. How do you feel about your dish and your use of the ingredients?
I feel really good about the use of the ingredients. I'm a little nervous because the cauliflower is a little overcooked. I wanted to have a little more bite, but I'm just hoping that all my flavors kind of come together well and work cohesive.
Awesome. Good luck, Chef.
Thank you.
Let's see what the judges think.
Yeah.
Okay, Ronnie, how do we feel about Marie's dish for a second round?
This is a very comforting dish. The rice is very soft and warm, and the duck was very juicy and succulent, had a nice crispy skin that was very subtly, flavored. The black garlic was very smooth and subtle. And I know it was the kiwi berry was the other ingredient. The kiwi berry, it seems like it's a very subtle ingredient, so it would be really hard to kind of like bring it out and make it more pronounced. So I'm not getting too much of that kiwi berry, but overall it's a very comforting dish. Thank you.
Thank you, Kehlani. Chef Chris, how do you feel about Maria's dish?
Very well prepared. Yeah, I mean, giving 30 minutes, that's a lot to accomplish. So I think it's very well put together. The garnishes are all great. The black garlic is very subtle. The only thing I would have liked to see was more kiwi berry, similar to what Kehlani said. I think because they were sweet, sort of in season, maybe even some slices or even like a mashed up to go with the duck. Because this dish has everything except for a little bit of sweetness. I think when the duck, like either the glaze or anything, would have just took it like to a whole nother dimension. But overall, it's well cooked. It's moist, it's crispy. It's kind of like a very good composition of all the flavors around. Just a little bit more kiwi berry, and it'll be like on the mark.
Thank you, Chef. Hi, Alex.
Hello.
So what do you think of Chef Marie's dish for the second round?
I thought it was very, very excellent. The duck was very juicy and moist, and the skin was nice and crispy. I couldn't stop eating it. I liked the subtle garlic flavor in the risotto, and I would have to just echo what my fellow judges have said with just kind of absence of the kiwi berry. I felt like if that flavor showed up a little bit more, I probably would have really would have appreciated that.
Thank you. Raina, how do you feel about Chef Marie's dish for a second round?
I would say that, definitely seconding what's been said before, this was a very warm dish. I felt like I was digging into it, and I just felt really cozy and like I'm having dinner at home. And I also loved the crispy skin. I think the risotto was really warm, and I could have maybe used like a little bit of like a kick to it. But yeah, I felt that the flavors all blended really well, and like were very smooth in the flavors. But yeah, I don't think I noticed the kiwi berry as much, and I think similar to what Chef Marie did with her last dish of just like bringing all the flavors together. I think that you definitely did that again this time, but I could have maybe had it pulled out a little bit more.
Great job. Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
Oh, this is beautiful. I can already see the kiwi berry on top, so I'm excited to see how that flavor comes through, but it looks very beautiful.
Smells delicious. I'm seeing a lot of color here, looks nice. I'm really excited to dig in. The skin looks crispy, you know how I feel about that. Looks like a really great dish.
Yeah, I'm seeing kiwi berries, so I'm excited. I want to see how it blends in with the flavors. Excited to try it.
Oh my, I've never seen a salmon prepared this way. I'm excited for the kiwi berries. I'm also excited if I see a little bit of a jalapeno, pickled jalapeno, right? I'll let him explain.
Chef Joey, how are you feeling?
I feel pretty good.
Great. Let's tell the judges what you cooked up for us today.
So here I have a pan-seared salmon. On top there's some pickled long pepper and also pickled kiwi berries. Underneath there's a little bit of fennel that's been caramelized in some butter. And then way on the bottom is a smoked tomato and black garlic broth.
Enjoy. So, Chef Joey.
Yes.
How do you feel about your dish for the second round?
I'm really confident with it.
Very flavorful. So what did you do with the kiwi berries?
I just quickly pickled them with some champagne vinegar, some juniper berries, and some star anise.
Lovely. What's all in the sauce? Spice us.
There's some escalette, some yellow pepper, tomatoes, shallots. All of that was roasted under the flame. Then just mix into a little bit of stock and reduce down.
Mm-hmm. Really good. Really great job. How do you feel about your chances of winning?
I feel pretty confident.
You should. Let's see what the judges think. Kaylani, how do you feel about Chef Joey's dish?
This was a fun one because I could have a lot of different bites and flavor combinations in every, bite, so to say.
Yeah.
But I am a fan of the long hots, and I liked how they went with the kiwi berries, and the kiwi berries were very pronounced in the dish. And the sauce was, I think, it could have had a little bit more oomph, a little bit more flavor, but there was a hint, there was a nuance of the black garlic. So, but overall, the salmon, cooked perfectly. I'm impressed that y'all can do this in 30 minutes because I can't even boil rice in 30 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chef Chris Paul, how do you feel about Joey's dish?
I think you definitely use the kiwi berry. I think the best to, because in my mind I just wanted to see it fresh, maybe smashed or turned into a basic jam, but pickled was a really nice flavor profile because it still had the sweetness, it brought in some acidity. Similar to what Kaylani said, the broth is flavorful, but it is very subtle. And I think with the combinations, it doesn't want to pop out. I would even like to see some just straight up shaved black garlic on there. Treat it like a truffle because it's one of those things that's so compact with flavor that because I've had it, I was like, damn, where is it? I was really searching for it. But I think overall, the kiwi berry is a really good use for it. I think pickling works great. I think it's very creative and it's an overall good dish.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chef. Alex, how do you feel about Chef Joey's dish?
I thought that it was a very nice dish. It was presented very well. I thought the colors were great. I thought that the pickled long hots were an excellent touch. I like that high note, that spicy bit to it. The pickled kiwi berries was unique. I'd never had anything like that, so that was really cool, and I think it worked well with the dish. Personally, I'm a big fan of garlic, and I would have liked to see maybe a little bit more garlic. I think it probably could have shown up a little bit more intensely in the sauce, but overall, the salmon was cooked very nicely. It had nice crispy texture, nice juicy texture to it as well. So I thought it was a really great dish.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brandon, how do you feel about Chef Joey's dish?
I thought that the salmon and everything on top of it was perfect. I love the texture, I love the skin. I love the pickled kiwi berry, and I liked biting into it and getting a little bit of like a juiciness and kind of just with the salmon itself. And I had that feeling biting into like any of the peppers and tomatoes that were in the mix. I do think the broth felt a little bit flat for me in terms of the flavor, because I don't think it felt like all of the flavor was centered around the salmon. And the garlic didn't come through most of it, though I did get like one bite of garlic that was like, it's still at like the back of my teeth right now, just sitting there. So like I got that it was in there, but I think it could have been a little bit more infused.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Chef Joey, great job.
Thank you.
All right, so it looks like we have a close round, huh? Between both competitors, correct?
I'll say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. I think in my personal opinion, I think Marie had a great and flavorful dish. But again, the lack of the kiwi berry, and we probably could have got a little bit more black garlic, but impressive. I think Joey showcased a lot of technique in his dish. I agree with everyone that it just needs a little bit more seasoning. I think literally simply like a little bit of salt or finishing acid would have brought out all the flavors I really wanted in that dish. But again, I think both great presentations, well thought out dishes, and I think it's a close round. What do you think?
It is really, really tight. I mean, I feel like the last round was a little bit stronger for both Joey and for Maria. But I like Joey's a little bit more just because of the adventurous use of other ingredients. I mean, and also that the kiwi berry was more pronounced than in Maria's duck. I love the spice of the peppers. I know that wasn't the feature ingredient, but I do respect, again, the like adventurousness of it, the risk taking that Joey took.
Thank you. Chris Paul, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think overall, like dish to dish, Maria's dish was definitely better composed. As far as the components, it's like a complete meal. It was warm, it was wholesome, but it was definitely, I guess, completely lacking the kiwi berries, to be honest, and the black garlic was like subtle, whereas Joey, he's really edging with just because he pickled it. It was just like I saw it, I tasted it, and it came through. On the other end, I'm not a huge fan of salmon. In my opinion, it was a little over and a little under seasoned. So for technicality of like going down to cooking and flavor, I would have to give it to Maria just over Zoe, although he utilized the kiwi berry a little bit better, technically, I think.
So we got one for each?
Yeah.
Awesome. Alex, what do you think?
I think that was very well said. I think that the use of the mystery ingredients was definitely more pronounced in Chef Joey's dish. Both of the presentations were really great. I thought that the appearance of Chef Joey's dish was a little bit better. There was really nice contrasting colors going, and all this said, what would I like to sit down and eat more of? I gotta say that duck was phenomenal. So Chef Maria, I think an overall dish, I really liked hers. So it's a tight one for me, but I'd have to go with Chef Maria.
Awesome, thank you, Alex. Brandon, what do you think?
I felt like I saw the same pattern and like I guess style to each of them in this one as I did in the first one. I think that Chef Maria continued to like integrate the flavors as much as possible. And then Chef Joey continued to kind of separate and pull them out a little bit more so that they were more distinct. I did feel like in both of them, the black garlic fell a little bit to the wayside, and I felt like I got more of the kiwi berry. So I think in that sense, Joey feels like more complete to the challenge. But I think it's a very good point that what would I be sitting down and like having a full meal of? I think it's Chef Maria. I'm definitely torn, but I think if going, strictly by like how they use the dish, as well as how it looked, I would go with Chef Joey.
Okay.
No, I gotta be a tiebreaker. Oh my god, they're both gonna hate me. No.
It's all on you. The pressure, the weight, and the competition is on you.
All right. Again, I think both chefs did a great job putting out a dish for the second round. I don't know, I'm a bit torn because I feel like, Maria used the black garlic better. I feel like Joey used the kiwi berry better.
Yeah.
If I had to go with straight techniques, go with Joey showcasing more techniques. If I had to just go with like a solid dish, I'll go more with Maria. It's a really tight one.
How about weighing last round to this round?
If we're gonna look over the full thing, I would go with Joey's dish for the first round. I think he definitely used those first ingredients. If this was a one-round competition, he would have won completely. So I think if we look at both dishes, if we compare two dishes by two dishes, I think overall he made better use of both of the ingredients, showcasing the way that, it was a learning experience for all of us, right? Trying these flavors and components. And again, Maria's dishes were both solid and very smart. Very smart to go with the bouillabaisse and use gochujang and citrus, which works really well with the flavors you want in a bouillabaisse. And then again, same thing with the black garlic risotto, really smart with the crispy duck leg. But it's all about the use of the mystery ingredients.
Did Joey say that he had used the kiwi berry before, or did he say no, that he hadn't?
He hadn't used either one before.
So it's kind of impressive. This is
very
the first
impressive.
time.
And I've used kiwi berries a lot, and I've literally never thought to pickle it before.
Yeah.
I think that he definitely used a lot of black garlic in his broth. I'm actually a big fan of black garlic. I actually have some dehydrating at home right now, so I probably use it better than anyone else. I use it in different varieties and things like that. I think if you would have dropped this sauce or seasoned a little bit more, did it in layers, then you definitely would have got more flavor of it. I'm sure like that sauce is probably still on the stove right now. If we taste it right now, it's probably amazing. But if I was going to go over, both rounds because it is a really tight second round, I would have to pick Chef Joey.
Solid reasoning, solid logic.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of cooked salmon, so I'm almost a little biased because I'll take duck any time over salmon.
And I agree too. I agree with that 100%. But I think if we bring it back to the mystery ingredients overall, and if we look at both rounds, who had the best better two dishes.
Yeah.
I agree. It was very, very competent use of both of those mystery ingredients, and I guess it just comes down to which attributes are going to be most important to us in this competition. And I think you make a very good point.
Awesome. So we have our winner. That was a really hard decision, but we only choose one unfortunately. So
this one more black garlic. It's so good. You gotta really put it in there. I was expecting.
The sad part is they're all my friends too, so I'm like, that's what I'm good.
I'm never gonna let you
All right, let's stop bringing our chefs. Hey chefs, I have to say, throughout both rounds, you both showcased a lot of techniques, a lot of great flavors. I think you both did really well using both ingredients for each round. This was a really tight one, really, really tight one. Unfortunately, we can only have one winner.
Chefs, it was such a pleasure eating both of your meals. I think that they both showcased mastery in completely different ways. Chef Maria, we felt like in both of your dishes you really integrated the flavors really nicely with each other and created these profiles that felt really subtle but also really combined everything in a really great way. And Chef Joey, we felt that you did the total opposite, mixing everything up, but rather splitting things out. So we saw the more of the kiwi there. We saw you pull out everything into different parts of the dish, which we also really enjoyed. And so even though this was a really tough decision, and just thinking about how both of you performed over the past two dishes, we have decided that the winner for this year's Feastival Hungry Games is Chef Joey.
Thank you, Chef Maria. Your dishes were amazing. Chef Joey, congratulations on winning.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Joey. It was a really tough decision. I mean, we had a long, drawn-out conversation, but what really set you just a smidge above Maria was the fact that, you know, for me, I was really struck by the fact that you hadn't worked with the ingredients that were in the second dish. So I was really enamored by the fact that you worked with them so well, having it been your first time working with black garlic and with you know, with the kiwi berry. And also we took into it was such a tight race that we had to consider both the first round and the second round. And of course your first dish was extremely strong and showed that you had great mastery and great technique with all ingredients. And you took risks. I think that was another thing. I loved that you took a lot of risk.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think overall, the use of the two ingredients, I think you utilized them both in both rounds overall. The kiwi berry, I've had both of those ingredients, and I think, like Elijah said, I've never thought to pickle them, and that was actually a really nice addition because it had some acidity, but it still had the sweetness, and you were clearly able to distinct it. I think the broth could have used a little bit more black garlic, but overall, it still was subtle enough where I was like, oh, it's there. So going back to both rounds, I think the ingredients really came through, especially with the beurre blanc that came through, and as well as on the chicken skin. So I think really well put together, and being that you have never worked with them before, it's really honorable that, you know, you really put some thought into it, and it was a good execution.
Thank you.
So, Chef, we had to consider a lot of different aspects when judging these dishes, not only from the presentation to how the dish came together, but also the use of the mystery ingredients. And when you take a look at, you know, all of those components together, we found that the dishes that you created showcased the mystery ingredients probably in you know, the most unique way. We were able to really get the kiwi berry and the garlic came through in the second dish very well. Both times the proteins were cooked very, very nicely, and I thought that your presentation throughout the entire competition was very, very good. So with all that in mind, congratulations.
Thank you.
Chef Joey, I felt like, you know, I said this after your first dish, I think you do really well with this appearance of simplicity, but a really complex flavor profile, and really presenting a dish that incorporates so many different things, but in a way that makes you feel like you're enjoying every bite in a different way. And so I, you know, really loved what you had to do today, and I'm happy you're a winner.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Chef Joey, on winning the first ever Feastival Hunger Games competition. And thank you for competing. How does it feel to win?
It feels awesome. It really does feel awesome. I wasn't really quite sure exactly how I was going to be able to utilize the dishes at the beginning of you know, every round, but I'm happy that the ideas were creative and that they worked for everyone.
Awesome. You did an amazing job. I think we all loved your food. You showcased a lot of technique. You did an amazing job. So thank you again, Chef, for competing.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you, judges, for joining us today. I hope you had a great time. Thank you for being a part of this really fun project.
Thank you.
Chef Maria, you did a phenomenal job today.
Thank you, Chef.
I think both of your dishes are great, flavorful. I knew you could do it for a while. You killed it, girl. How was your experience today?
Overall, my experience was great. Honestly, I agree with the chefs, with the judges, and you know, the feedback in which they gave. Joey did his thing. He deserved it.
Sure. Thank you to everyone at home watching and participating with this year's virtual Feastival, the Hunger Games. We would like to thank all of our partners and sponsors. A special thank you to Aldi, our presenting sponsors, Farm Mart, San Pellegrino, Aquapana, Philadelphia Magazine, and then a special thank you to the Fittler Club for hosting us. During these times, we had Aldi Feastival, Fringe Arts, Park, and Cooking for the Culture. Appreciate your support. If you would like to give additional donations, please visit fringearts.com/support. Thank you.